Welcome back. It's been a little bit. As most of you know, I was on my European vacation. Tried a bunch of different foods. We went and kind of did like a tour of some of Italy. We went to a couple of cities in Italy, which were really nice. Tasted a lot of the cuisine. I brought back some recipes. So those of you that are looking for some of those newer recipes, they will hit the channel. We will be making some of that. I've basically taken recipes that I found over there, and I'm going to modify them a bit to kind of fit the American palate. One thing I have noticed is that the palate is a little different over there in Italy. Even true Italians, they do things a little differently. Some things I like, some things I'm too Americanized, I guess, so I really didn't find the flavor there that I enjoyed. But for the most part, it was a wonderful vacation. It was nice to go there and meet a bunch of people, a lot of followers of Jesus too, which was really refreshing. So I was glad to see that. What we're going to do today is we're going to make my style of a tender fall off the bone rib. I've been making ribs for years. Up in Jersey, when I lived up in Jersey, I would make them one way. But when I came down here, I noticed the Texas influence on smoking ribs, and it's a whole process. So what I'm going to teach you today is some of the Texas style, some of my style, and it gives it a little twist. Even got a little bit of Cajun seasoning on it. But these ribs, when they are done the way I'm showing you, will fall off the bone, and you don't even need barbecue sauce. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So we got two racks of ribs here that I've already cleaned. I've taken the membrane off the back. There is it's almost like a piece of skin that's on the back. You want to make sure you pull that off because you want to be able to get your seasoning into the ribs. No reason to tenderize them. You basically just do a nice St. Louis cut on them. For those of you who don't know what a St. Louis style rib is, it's basically a uniform set of ribs where all the bones are trimmed evenly and it's even pieces. You take a lot of the fat off, clean the fat, clean all the extra off. But what we're going to do for this, it's a very simple process. It just takes time. Low and slow. LNS. That's the secret here. With a little bit of love too. So maybe it's LLS. Love, low, slow. But that's the secret here. Our ingredients, fairly simple. Brown sugar, mustard, butter, and I like to throw in some pickled garlic at the very end. I'll go over that. Like I said, it's a two-step process. So what we're going to do is we're going to prepare them. We're going to put a little bit of dry rub on them, prepare them, and then we're going to go ahead and start smoking them. We're going to smoke them for about 2.5 hours. We're going to take them off the smoker, and then we're going to wrap them. And then we're going to add some more ingredients to make them even more tasty. And then we're going to close them up and we're going to let them sit and rest for another 2.5 hours in that smoker. And by dinner time, they are going to fall off the bone. I guarantee it. That's a Jersey Joe guarantee. Take it to the bank. So with that said, what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and get our mustard. It can be any mustard, as long as it's yellow mustard. Stay away from spicy. Stay away from Dijon. None of that. We just want regular, off-the-shelf, cheap mustard. So we're going to start with getting some mustard on here. As you notice, I am wearing the gloves today because we are going to get a little bit, actually let's put that aside. We're going to get a little bit dirty here, but it's all right because it's all in fun. Just start mixing it up here. You want to try to get the mustard in all the grooves, get it in all the areas of the ribs, especially these edges. Just keep mixing it around, mixing it around. And then what I do, leave them like that. Put them face down. Get them edges really good. Get that mustard all up in there. And that's step one. That's not real hard, right? All right. All right, so now, everybody's got their own special rub. I have a rub that I make, and I like it. It's a combination of herbs and spices and brown sugar and salt and pepper. Whatever dry rub you like, you can use. There's no special dry rub here. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and start putting it in there. And we're going to cover the whole thing on the back first. Get the back side really good and covered. You look at this, you can see the salt, the pepper, you can see some of the brown sugar in there. Looking good. I like extra brown sugar, so I'm going to take a little bit more. And get in there. Get that on there. Get that on there. Now, some of my buddy's Phil seasoning here. Mild. Get that on there. Give it some more color. All right. Now we're going to take them and we're going to put them on a tray right now just to get them out to the grill. And we're also going to season the top. So get that in there. Move that aside. Same thing. Liberally get it on here. And I didn't say liberal, I said liberally. All right. Get some fill on here. Some more just brown sugar on here. This is going to melt down and glaze on us for our first cook. So what we do now is we're going to take this guy and we're going to run outside. So I'm going to see you outside. We're going to get it on the smoker and get to smoking. I'll be right back. All right, so here we go. One thing I like about pellet smokers is you can set it and forget it. If you look behind me here, I have the old-fashioned Real Man smoker that I do use. I have nothing against them. But when it comes to making these ribs, temperature needs to be perfect. So unless you have time to sit there all day and play with your airflow, add more coals, take away, I don't have time for that. I'm busy. I got to do a Bible study in a little bit. So what I'm going to do is go back to the old reliable here. Traeger, they've been good to me. It works well. I can set it, and I know it's going to stay at that temperature. Remember, low and slow. We need this at 225 for at least 2.5 hours for that first smoke. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and get them on here. Look at that. We're just going to let them rest. The key to a perfect smoke is time. You cannot rush it. So make sure you have enough time to put towards this and to monitor this. So we're just going to let it go. I'm going to see you in about 2.5 hours. We're going to take them off and we're going to do the next step. And then we're going to put them right back on and let them rest for another 2.5 hours. Slowly cooking. That's all we're going to do, folks. We'll see you soon. Okay, so it's been about 2.5 hours right now. Let's take a look-see. They're coming along really nice. This is what we want to see halfway through cooking. So now we're going to move on to phase 2. We're going to take them off the smoker. And now we're going to go inside and we're going to do step 2. All right, so in step 2 here, what we're going to do is I'm going to take some of my garlic and I'm going to chop up some of this garlic in preparation for our next step here. So this is pickled like jalapeno garlic. It's really nice. You can find it in any grocery store. It's still hard, so it's not like, it's like really soft and mushy. So It's got a lot of texture to it, but it gives it a lot of flavor. So I want to kind of mince this garlic up. So I chopped up here about 4 or 5 cloves. If you don't have pickled garlic, you can use regular garlic, or you can use no garlic at all. It's totally up to you if you like the flavor of garlic. So what we're going to do is I like to get my butter ready here. Take a stick of butter. Have the butter firm. You don't want the butter like completely soft so it becomes mushy when you're trying to work with it, because it's always difficult to work with mushy butter. So we'll get that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 strips of foil here, approximately the same size. And I'm going to go like that. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3 pats of butter down on the bottom. Take my brown sugar and just go ahead and get it on there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just trying to spread it out a little bit. Just like that. Now we're going to take our rib and we're going to put the fat side or the meat side up. And we're going to kind of get it approximately right in the middle there. Go back to our butter, another 3 pats. So we're doing like 6 pats of butter total. Put it right on that meat. There you go. Some more brown sugar. Brown sugar is what gives it all that flavor. Get it on there. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Take some more of Phil's seasoning. Just a little sprinkle on the top. Done. That's all you need. I'm just going to sprinkle the garlic on top. See that? That's it. And fold it up. Two strips. Flatten it out. Butter. 1, 2, 3. Brown sugar. Get that on there. Real nice. Remember, bone side down. One. 2. And 3. Some more brown sugar. Garlic. Just kind of sprinkle it in there. A little bit of Phil. Good. Get that butter up on top. Hold it up. Hold it up. Roll my edges. Go over here. So now we're going to put this back on a smoker for another 2.5 hours. Take it off the smoker. We're going to let it rest for about 5 minutes. And it's going to be ready to serve. Also, what I've done is, you guys have seen my recipe for the crawfish mac and cheese. I got some crawfish mac and cheese that I had just made fresh. What I'm going to do is, once this has been in for about an hour and 20 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and take the foil off of the crawfish mac and cheese, and I'm going to put the mac and cheese without the cover in the smoker, and we're going to serve the crawfish mac and cheese with the ribs. That's how it's done, folks. We'll see you in about 2.5 hours. We're going to make it through the magic of cameras, I'll be back in 10 seconds, but it'll actually be 2.5 hours later. We'll see you soon. Okay, we're back. We have now let this sit in here for an additional 2 hours and 25 minutes at 225, and we're going to take it out. We're going to let it rest for a minute or two, and we're going to be good to go. I also put in here my crawfish mac and cheese that we got smoking over in the corner here. So we're going to get that out probably in the next 10 minutes, and then we're going to have that to go with these ribs. But if you want the crawfish mac and cheese recipe, I published that on my YouTube channel about a month or so ago, so you'll be able to find that there. But we're going to get these ribs inside. We're going to let them cool for a minute or two, and then we're going to do the big reveal. So what we're going to do, it's going to be hot. So we got to carefully open the foil. Basically the reverse of what you did to close it up. And we're gonna have a lot of juice here. So juice is good. Juicy's good. Look at that. Yeah. So we'll get that juice, let that juice fall in there. And then we'll kind of flip it back up. Look at that. Get that on there. See, the foil acts like a steamer, and it almost steams it the rest of the way in there. But you know you're good when you can take that bone. Let's go ahead and a little cut here. Cut there. We'll cut there. Up in there. We'll cut there. We'll cut there. And now, you know you got yourself a good moist rib there. Take this bone, and I can twist this bone, and this bone comes off clean as can be. It is hot, but look at that. Perfect. So that's it. You don't need barbecue sauce. You don't need anything. These suckers are good to go. And that's that. So just remember, keep the faith. Say a prayer before every meal. And we'll see you soon. To dress it up, what we do is we take a little bit of Mike's Hot and we just kind of drizzle all over the top right before we're ready to serve. And that's the final touch. Now, if you want to put barbecue sauce on it, go ahead. But why ruin a masterpiece? Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, as well as follow us on Facebook at Jersey Joe Congemi.